now. You know, black women around this goddamn country, they always talk about how strong a black woman they are. But did you really want to talk about strength? Can we really talk about strength? Let me play this clip first. I'm gonna play this clip because this is gonna set the tone for where the fuck I'm going. The reason why that clip bothers the fuck out of me, and y'all heard me say this on a few other platforms. As a matter of fact, when she did that and carrying on, and I went immediately to my platform, and I was like, listen, you want to talk about call him this, that, and the other, but you want to talk about the strength of a black woman, and you want to call him the sellout. But what you did not say in this particular clip was the scene before that, when the husband was fighting with him, or he was fit to get the shotgun, okay, and go kill Massa, and say, no, I'm not giving her to you. And this, that part. Okay, I'm not giving her to you. And she said, she calmed him and said, baby, it's okay. Now, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have all the right lyrics, okay? But I'm paraphrasing. Where she said, it's okay, because I need you to stay here. I can't have you out there, because if you do something, they're going to kill you for sure. This family don't work without you, okay? I'll take the hit, because I need you here, okay? And that woman went there and allowed for them to do what they did to her, okay? Now, what we did not take into consideration is the fact that that same black woman had to put herself together knowing that she had just been violated and touched by a man who ain't her husband, okay? Number two, she had to then not let her husband sit down there and feel like he failed her. So she took on his burden and had to help build him and put his pieces back together while she putting her pieces together too. You understand?
It's because with being a strong black woman comes sacrifice.
And then on top of it, still had to make sure that after all that was said and done, that they were going to be okay, because we didn't know if this man was going to impregnate her or what. You understand? And had to deal with that, because there were no abortions and stuff back in that time. Especially if black women got pregnant, honey, the only way she wasn't having that baby is if the baby was stillbirth. Okay? So we had to deal with all of that and still had to go out there in those fields and this, that, and the other. So every time when I look at that, or I reference that, I get heated, because you want to sell him out and talk about how he was this particular man here, but you didn't tell that whole fucking story. Okay? You didn't tell that goddamn story. And then on top of it, I don't even have to go back to slavery times. I like to go back to my grandmother. Because when my grandmother had to raise 7 children, when my grandfather passed, okay, her second husband, and she had 7 babies. Okay. Now the older ones were older and carried on, but she still had to take care of her household. And she still was cleaning homes and carrying on, and still had to make ends meet and this, that, and other the way that she did. Okay. In the midst of dealing with the fact that she was a widower again. I mean, a widow again, dealing with children. Okay, not knowing if she would able to get another man again. You know what I'm saying? Because especially in those days, it was all about whether or not you know, didn't nobody want to necessarily take care of another man's kids. You know what I'm saying? And then having to be an upstanding citizen. What about your children? What about the see? You want to talk about strength of a black woman? You talk about strength. What does it mean to be a strong black woman and not be a motherfucking bully? That's one of the things we're gonna talk about. And somebody said, "What did I just watch?" Leah said, "What did I just watch?" Leah, what that was, Leia, Princess Leia. What that was if you go on YouTube, maybe about a year or two ago, uh, Monique had gone on to the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and carrying on this, that, and the other. And she wanted to confront him because he had gave her and called her donkey of the day.
He gave her donkey of the day.
Okay.
Everybody, you do something stupid, Charlamagne give you donkey of the day. Shit.
Okay. She was upset about that and she wanted to confront him. Now I felt it was very disrespectful that she kept calling him Leonard instead of Charlamagne the God. But I knew what she was trying to get at because she felt that he was disrespectful for calling her, making her donkey of the day. So she went in and started calling him Leonard when she found out that was his name. Okay. And I'm like, okay, but you didn't earn that right to call me Leonard, bitch.
No, you didn't.
That's the first
My
thing.
mama gave me that name.
My mama gave me that name, but the world knows me as Charlamagne the God.
Charlamagne the God.
You ain't got to call me, you ain't got to say Charlamagne the God, but you're going to call me Charlamagne.
Charlamagne. Because there's plenty of people who don't say Charlamagne the God. When they introduce him, they say Charlamagne the God. But when they're having a conversation with him, they just say Charlamagne.
Right. And carrying on. And so I found that to be quite disrespectful. But at the same time, looking at it from her standpoint, she felt disrespected, so blah, blah, blah. So I got that little pettiness there, okay? But at the same time, I bring this subject up because when we talk about us as a people, and when we talk about what it means to be a strong Black woman in this day and time, and then when we looking at what are the examples of that, because you got strong Black women on all these goddamn reality shows, honey, that's flipping over tables and shit and claiming that's what being strong is. You know, you got strong Black women who feel that just because they can stand up to a man and take him on and act like they could take a man toe to toe and go fist to fist with a dude, that they are a strong Black woman. And that's not necessarily the case.
Being able to run your mouth and scream and all of that old stuff and prove that you make this amount of money and all kinds of, that's not being a strong woman.
Okay. So
that's why I said a strong Black woman means the sacrifice in it all, whether it be for your children or your husband and your children. You know what I'm saying? A strong Black woman is that mother that go to work every day and go without so her motherfucking kids can have and never complains. That's a strong Black woman. A strong Black woman is knowing sometimes, you know, back in the day when our grandparents, they knew that their husbands wasn't shit, but they still held it down because he paid the bills. So she was quiet. That's not weak. It was strong to make sure that her household stayed together.
Right. And that she wanted to put out.
The two.
And remember, back in our grandparents' day and carried on, many of them did not know finances and carrying on. All they did was the husband made the money, she paid the bills, but she didn't know what the finances were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She handled all of that and carrying on. She kept the house happy.
Wasn't as educated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the little bit we might have, you know, we might have took pride in that. But remember, especially in our grandparents and great grandparents, even if the woman had a little bit of education, the man probably had less.
Yeah.
And she was not going to make him feel less than.
Exactly.
But you bitches nowadays, let me get to what I said, what I said. You bitches nowadays, there are some ain't shit men, right? I'm not going to say that it ain't. But I'm going to need for y'all to stop making it seem like everybody is like that. Or because he didn't get the opportunities that you had, or maybe he didn't even feel like he had those same opportunities, you're going to look down at him. He a mechanic at the goddamn mechanic shop. He working hard every day. But because your funky ass got 2 damn degrees, you looking down on him like, well, stop it. Stop it. Because then you be the first bitch talking about why they always going after a white woman. Because get your fucking life together. When there are ones who are respectable, ones that are proud and are doing something, it might not make as much money as you do, but he don't deserve no less respect. You understand? Y'all need to stop that bullshit. And bitch, you got a problem, come to me. I said what the fuck I said.